All right, guys, here we are. This is part three, section 10, the Millenniums. This is our last president. This is Bill Clinton. Remember, this thing started off from Theodore Roosevelt. We went all the way to Bill Clinton. So, he is our 42nd president. Now, something I like to mention about Bill Clinton is how he won office. Guys, remember we talked about how Woodrow Wilson won the office because Theodore Roosevelt will step in. He splits that ticket with Taft. Wilson's the third guy. You get my fingers right. Wilson's the third guy, and he wins it. Same thing will happen to Bush. Bush comes in. There's a guy named Ross Perot that splits the Republican ticket. Clinton runs for the Democrat. He wins it. Plus the fact we talked about Bush had made some statements during his presidency. It came back to haunt him. Clinton is 46 years old. He's a Democrat. In Bill Clinton's administration, on the good side of it, Clinton reigned over a pretty good economic era. I mean, it was okay. Clinton was a big JFK fan. You love JFK. Under Clinton, you'll have the North American Free Trade Act, NAFTA. But his presidency is going to be it's haunted by the Monica Lewinsky deal. We're going to talk about that in a minute. He does a lot of stuff. He does the Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA. I've always thought, guys, as a person that worked for a living prior to coming to teaching, I think I work now, but don't get wrong. But FMLA, guys, is a wonderful thing. FMLA says if your wife gets sick, she has cancer, your child gets sick, some family member gets sick, and you can't be at work. If you file FMLA, your employer cannot dismiss you. They have to give you a certain amount of time. Now, you don't get paid, but you save your job. And that came under Bill Clinton. And I've worked with people who use FMLA, and it is a good thing. I got to put a big check for Bill Clinton on that one. He did a good job. Don't ask, don't tell was the military thing. Basically, if you had sexual preferences, don't tell us. We don't care about it. Just go forward. That was his deal. Now, Monica Lewinsky will pretty much haunt his presidency. Monica Lewinsky is a young girl that there's a shutdown in the government. Monica Lewinsky was like one of these little government aides. She's a young girl. She comes in there and she has an affair with Bill Clinton. And then basically it all came out. Guys, if you remember the different presidents we talked about. Remember Warren Harding? He had an affair in the White House. Bill Clinton is not the first guy. JFK had several women coming in and out of the White House. So I'm not condoning Bill Clinton whatsoever. I don't think that's right. You shouldn't do that. But I'm telling you, what happened with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky was not the first time a U.S. president entertained a young lady in the White House. He just got caught with it. It pretty much he'll be the president for 8 years. Clinton, I get a lot of Clinton papers. His domestic policy, I think, is pretty stable. We talked about that. Some of the things that he did. His foreign policy, basically, Clinton doesn't get us into any foreign wars. Tries to keep us out of that. But if you look, he does increase tax at the end of his administration. But he does some good things. He really does. Now that will be our Bill Clinton. Now we're going to come in and we're going to handle our next session will be Bush, Obama, and Trump. We're going to pretty much handle them in one thing. So anyway, there you go. And we'll move on to George W. Bush. See you then.